And I gotta make some real choices, man. Is that what I want for myself? Did I get too big? Because I like people. I like entertaining. And the higher up I go, for some reason, the less happy I am. You know, is it going to get to the point where I'm doing a striptease on TRL or waving a gun on the street, saying they're trying to kill me? No, I'm not going to let it get to that point.
You know what Dave Chappelle said about fame? He said Hollywood is a dangerous place, that the industry chews people up and spits them out, that sometimes people aren't who they appear to be on camera. And right now, looking at what's unfolding with d4vd, those words hit different. Because what started as a missing person case has turned into something much darker. Something that has people asking, was this just a tragedy, or was this something else entirely? Something ritualistic, something planned, something evil. The signs were always there, hidden in plain sight.
In the back of my mind, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear.
I don't care about the I'll be breaking it all.
When you look back at d4vd's music now, there's a darkness that goes beyond normal teenage angst. His songs celebrate sadness. They pull you into a space where hopelessness feels comfortable. And that's dangerous, because when artists normalize that kind of darkness, when they make despair feel like home, they're not just expressing themselves, they're creating an energy, a vibe, a world where disturbing things feel acceptable.
These songs are soundtracking my life. So I hope I'm not involuntarily doing that, but it might be that way, not gonna lie. And then I made Romantic Homicide, and it was so different than everything else I had made because it was actually sad. It was slow, it was sad, it was emotional, it had weight to it.
But let's be real for a second. Throughout history, people have performed rituals, sacrifices, not just in ancient cultures, but in modern times too. Think about Jennifer's Body for a second. Yeah, it's a movie, but the concept isn't fiction. In that film, a mediocre band sacrifices an underage girl to jumpstart their career. They perform a demonic ritual, kill Jennifer, and suddenly they're famous.
Satan is our only hope. We're in league with the beast now, and we have to make a really big impression on him. And to do that, we're going to have to butcher you and bleach you.
The movie shows what happens when you trade someone's life for success, when you make a deal with darkness to get what you want. And while it's Hollywood, the theme is real. And even celebrities himself hinting at this on live TV.
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
I like it.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean?
If I could even handle it, it's a tremendous responsibility having a show like that. But everything's going fine, I think, till season 3. I mean, and it wasn't the fame that got to me. I love people. I like people saying that they like what I do. And, you know, there's just a whole, you know, it's like an economic threshold you cross, man. You know, they had thrown out numbers like $50 million. You put that in the paper next to your name, then that guy's going to have some serious problems in his personal life. There's no question. You know, I like to live a more open life. I don't like to have to protect myself from people.
Dave Chappelle wasn't just talking about Hollywood being dangerous in a general sense. He was hinting at something deeper. And when you look at d4vd's rise to fame, it happened fast, too fast. One viral TikTok song and suddenly he's opening for SZA. He's getting brand deals with Crocs and Hollister. He's collaborating with major artists. That kind of success doesn't just happen. Someone opens doors for you. Someone gives you access. And sometimes there's a price attached to that access. What if Celeste was that price? The case exploded on September 8, 2025.
Tonight, more than a week after a body was found inside an impounded Tesla registered to the singer who goes by the stage name David, Los Angeles investigators identifying the remains as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, the same girl who was reported missing last year, according to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office.
The car had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. When authorities opened the trunk, they found a body, badly decomposed, too far gone to identify right away. They said it was unclear if there was any criminal activity beyond concealing her body. A 15-year-old girl found in a trunk, and they're not sure if a crime was committed.
She left her house. That was a very, very troubled situation. How do we know that he had anything to do with that? There's no evidence against this man for any crime that I can see.
How about witnesses? How about witnesses? Because the friends of David spoke with TMZ and they all held out that they thought that they were a couple. They held themselves out as a couple. She said that she was 19 and a college kid and they were absolutely romantic.
Proving my point, if he thought that she was overage, then it's not a crime. But what does...
Oh, that's not true. Ignorance of the law. You can't have a relationship with an underage girl and say, well, she told me she was 19.
Hire me if that ever happens.
The death certificate listed her cause of death as deferred. Manner of death, pending investigation. But the most heartbreaking detail? Her remains were found 1 day after her 15th birthday. She had just turned 15 and her body was already rotting in the back of a car.
The family lives on this street in Lake Elsinore, and today the brother told us that the family is all grieving. She said that they knew that she had a relationship with the singer David, but now they're trying to figure out how she ended up dead in his Tesla.
Now let's talk about the concert footage that has everyone asking the same question. Was Celeste alive longer than we thought? On August 24th, 2025, d4vd performed at a show in Maryland. This was just 2 weeks before Celeste's body was discovered. People immediately started speculating. That girl looked like Celeste. And then the detail that made everyone's blood run cold. When Celeste's body was found, she was reportedly wearing a tube top. The same type of top, the same style. Fans can't stop asking, was that the very night she died? Was she at that concert, alive, only to be killed hours later? The timeline doesn't add up, and that's what makes this so disturbing.
They think the last place Celeste was ever seen is David's house in the Hollywood Hills, and there's good reason for them to think that. So as we know, law enforcement got a warrant to search through his house and take anything they want. They took his laptop to look for evidence, and they took 2 bags full of evidence, checking for evidence of foul play. They checked for blood, and they even checked his drains. This home was being leased by not just David, but also his manager, and in a very suspicious move.
But the online investigation didn't stop there. In fact, it was just getting started. A TikToker made a video on December 14th, 2024, months before Celeste's body was even found, claiming that d4vd was paying kids to keep his relationship with Celeste a secret.
Popular artist got caught giving thousands of dollars to kids. Now, why did he do this? To hide his little secret of him dating. Who knows if he's still dating this minor?
Think about that. Someone knew. Someone was talking about it publicly, and nothing happened. Then came the Discord leaks. Messages from d4vd's private server showed him talking to a user named Celeste as far back as 2021. Other messages from 2023 showed members of the community discussing his new girlfriend, also named Celeste. But the most disturbing message came from August 2024. A user, responding to d4vd's mention of a song crisis, cryptically wrote that he should release the song about the missing girl, Celeste. Hear that again. People in his private server knew about the missing girl almost a year before her body was found. There were confessions playing in plain sight. He was telling everyone what he did, and people were streaming it, singing along, not realizing they were listening to evidence. Photos and videos continued to surface. One video allegedly showed d4vd cleaning the shoes of the missing girl. Another showed him wearing Celeste's bracelets, her personal items, on his body, like trophies. The proximity of his house to where the car was abandoned made everything worse. He lived nearby. He had access. He had opportunity. And then there's the merchandise. This is where things get really disturbing. Fans started noticing that d4vd's merch had some seriously dark imagery. We're talking about hoodies and shirts with violent, bloody graphics. Designs that featured disturbing themes, skulls, blood splatters, imagery that looked ritualistic. At the time, people thought it was just edgy branding, dark aesthetic, the kind of thing emo and alternative artists do to look cool. But after Celeste's body was found, that merchandise completely disappeared. Scrubbed, deleted, gone. His team took down every listing, every photo, every trace of those designs from the website. If it was just an artistic expression, why delete it? Why erase the evidence? Unless those designs meant something. Unless they were connected to what actually happened. Unless they were part of the ritual. Think about it. Ritual sacrifices throughout history have always involved symbolism, blood, imagery, objects that hold meaning.
Conspiracy that people practice sacrifices and rituals all the time for like powers, for spiritual powers, for energy. They have the power of demons behind them. They self-worship. They worship the demon too. They have this level of crazy psychopathic energy, deadly. Whether you believe in spirituality and spiritual welfare or not, both the psychological part and...
What if that merch wasn't just merch? What if it was a celebration? A commemoration, a way of marking what he'd done. And here's what makes this even more chilling. He kept performing, he kept touring, and even throwing funerals at his concert. That's not the behavior of someone who's innocent. That's not someone who's traumatized or scared. That's someone who thinks they're untouchable. Someone who believes they'll get away with it. And honestly, he almost did. If that tow yard employee hadn't noticed the smell, if the car had been parked somewhere more remote, if just one thing had gone differently, Celeste might never have been found. Let's talk about what the police are actually saying, because this is where the frustration really kicks in.
Since her body was found in the trunk on September 8th, authorities have not identified a suspect nor a person of interest. And to be clear, David has not officially been implicated in any wrongdoing or any crime, and law enforcement have not even come out with a definitive connection between the singer.
The entertainment industry reacted swiftly. Kali Uchis, who had collaborated with d4vd on a song, immediately announced she would be taking it down after learning about the case. Other artists stayed silent. Some deleted posts, some unfollowed. The message was clear: distance yourself or get dragged into this. Then came even more damning evidence. A social media post went viral claiming that another girl, d4vd, had dated in 2023, was also underage. The user claimed to have multiple screenshots of interactions between them. If those interactions are real, law enforcement would be forced to investigate a pattern of behavior with minors. Not just one victim, multiple. And that changes everything. Because if Celeste wasn't the first, and she's not the last, then this is predatory behavior. This is grooming. This is a pattern. d4vd and his representatives have remained completely silent. No statements, no denials, no explanations. But it was recently reported that he hired Blair Burke, one of Hollywood's top criminal defense lawyers, the kind of lawyer you hire when you're facing serious, life-destroying charges. That tells you everything you need to know. So let's bring it all together. Dave Chappelle warned us. He said Hollywood uses people, that it sacrifices them for profit and power, that the industry protects its own no matter what they've done. And here we are, watching it happen in real time. A 13-year-old girl goes missing in April 2024. Over a year later, her body is found in d4vd's car, one day after her 15th birthday. Concert footage suggests she was alive just 2 weeks before her body was discovered. Discord messages show people in his inner circle knew about her. Unreleased songs contain what sound like confessions. Bloody, violent merchandise gets scrubbed from the internet the moment her body is identified. Photos show him wearing her belongings. Videos show him with her. Witnesses place them together multiple times. And through it all, the police refuse to call this what it is: murder. Because when you give someone with a dark soul power, when you give them influence and access and millions of followers, they don't use it for good. They use it to feed whatever evil lives inside them. And people like Celeste pay the price.